India's Bengaluru city, known as the country's Silicon Valley, is now facing an unprecedented water crisis.
How is this government, what is this Urban Planning Commission or what all Brihat Bengaluru Municipal Corporation, BBMC has thought about this?
Government has no other agenda other than to get re-elected and take 40% cuts from contractors. Everybody is taking nature for granted. Everybody is just playing around. There is a limit to everything. In nature also there is limit, and we are crossing our limits.
Hi, welcome to KC Talks. Challenges in Bangalore are now very normal. We always find a new challenge popping up. 8 years back, we started seeing so much of traffic congestion and nobody has any solution for that. Then we saw a lot of floods coming into Bangalore city. People understood what is the reason, but people have not come up with any solution. Now there is a severe water crisis. If you speak with any old Bangalorean, he can't imagine of a situation like this in Bangalore. Bangalore is supposed to be a garden city of India. Can you imagine water crisis in a garden city like this? So let us understand from a civilizational challenges. So what exactly took Bangalore to this particular situation? Hare Krishna Swamiji.
Hare Krishna.
Another problem. Severe water crisis.
So why not you do cloud seeding?
Cloud seeding.
The artificial rain.
We only saw Dubai.
What the scientists are doing then? They have all the solution. We are so advanced, progressed. We are catching up with America. So why don't you solve this by what? Cloud seeding. Artificial rain.
This year actually Bangalore had not received a lot of rain, and that's one of the reasons why.
That's why I'm saying, why don't you people or the scientists do the cloud seeding, artificial rain,
I don't know of a situation like India does anytime cloud seeding, very rare. Dubai does it, I know it, but I don't know whether India can do that.
Why not get the technology from Dubai, we are very advanced, right? So what is the solution they are proposing? No solution?
They're trying to release water from Krishna Sagar Dam.
Okay.
That's one way. But very problematic, because what I see is people have never seen their borewells drying up. This time borewells are all dried up.
Borewells are dried because you go on digging every house, every 20 yards there is a borewell, right? Every 10-15 yards there is a borewell. All these are finite resources. There is vast ground table, water table is there underground, but there is a limit to everything. So in nature also there is limit. And we are crossing our limits. So you end up with this situation. Now where is the borewell recharging? Is there any place for water to seep through? For groundwater to recharge?
No, government is proposing for that rain harvest pits and all to recharge the undertable soil. Chennai actually did this.
Government has no other agenda other than to get re-elected and take 40% cuts from contractors. They have no other agenda. All these governments are petty politicians. They are worried about how to retain their flock of the MLAs and how to reward the MLAs, how to keep them happy. They expand the cabinet. Now there are 90 MLAs have cabinet ranks. Almost everybody has a cabinet rank. So that's their agenda. They are not bothered, or they know they personally have no water problem. They can get 300 tankers anytime. Every minute they can order a tanker. So nobody is serious about anything. You get my point. It's a
Yes.
frivolous civilization.
Mm.
They're frivolous.
Mm.
Everybody is a rogue, So point is, everybody is taking nature for granted. Everybody is just playing around. How do you so these havocs, this is nothing. This is not a sustainable model. Water needs to be recharged, and such concentration of human beings in one place,
Mm.
this has never happened in the history of human race.
Okay.
Is so many human beings become concentrated in such a small spot. Then you got to supply them food, you got to supply them all the necessities, the water, and they have such a big, the river beds have been dug up to mine all the sand,
Yeah.
And the mining all the sand, the rivers are existing because they have a sand bed.
Mm.
And we have removed all those bedding, So rivers, they die.
Mm.
All those sand mafia. You heard of that before?
Yeah, I know of this.
So that all goes for, we are digging and piling civilization, Digging one place and piling another and calling it progress,
Yes.
The white ants do the same thing. You have seen white ant towers.
Yes.
So that's their civilization, and now we are claiming there is crisis. Today, schools are closing down.
Mm.
There is practically no water. All school borewells are drying up. So they are thinking to, learn from home.
Mm.
So point is, where is the charging? How would you charge? Everywhere it's all industries, it's all cement, roads and buildings, and where can you find a bird? Where can you will find a tree? Where will you find air to breathe? So, as our founder Srila Prabhupada, eat nuts and bolts,
Mm.
and chips means computer chips. And so point is, even in agriculture,
Mm.
when you have your soils are, you scorch them with chemicals, they lose their absorbability, So water just runs off. Water doesn't seep inside. So point is, when you have when you use organic methods, the soil actually absorbs water, and water is able to recharge the table. But when you have used chemical, the soil is, it just gets washed away. So everything we are doing is, so how long? It is a question of time. It's not a question of if.
Mm.
It is a question of when.
Mm.
That's all. You heard the term ghost cities?
Yes.
The city is there, but nobody is living there.
Yeah.
Ghost cities, ghost ships.
Mm.
They say there are ships in ocean, high seas. Nobody is there, just floating around. Like that, we may end up with ghost cities,
Mm.
because water is life.
Yes. You said a beautiful point, Swamiji, that in the history of human civilization, so many people piling at one place has never happened like now it is happening.
Both horizontally and vertically.
Vertically. Yeah.
40 stories.
Yeah. Hyderabad.
You don't.
We're seeing Hyderabad, the entire new Hyderabad. If you see the outer ring road, all 15, 20, floors. Now 15, 20 floors has become like a small building. It's all 40 floors, 55 floors.
So the idea is that you don't need to pile people one on top of another.
Makes a lot of common sense. Now the point is, what is urban planning thinking about when you got a thought that in the history of human civilization, so many people piling at one place has never happened. So definitely, if something is happening for the first time, it comes with its own challenges. So you should be prepared for that. So how is this government, what is this urban planning commission, or what all, Brihat Bengaluru Municipal Corporation, BBMC, has thought about this?
only urban planning is de-urbanization.
Okay.
That should be the urban plan.
Hmm.
The idea is, the basic mantra is, you can't win over nature.
Hmm.
You got to live, because nature is insurmountable.
Hmm.
There will never be a time when you can defeat nature.
Hmm.
Just not possible.
Hmm.
So you got to align yourself with nature.
Hmm.
The nature is simple living, high thinking. We are taken water for granted.
Hmm.
Water for granted means that people used to preserve. There were entire India, there are many books published now, that we had traditional water conservation methods in India,
Hmm.
because water is life. Today, because of electrification, we have this easy withdrawal of water from 1000 feet, 2000 feet, 5000 feet. But once you withdraw, actually you make all those these withdraw water from these underground, you make what you call the subterranean world unstable.
Hmm.
So point is, you are looking at unstable ground instability also, and we are just point is, but how long you will have this easy availability of energy? Now, how you are able to have 20-storied buildings, 40-storied? You won't be able to, like when we had a problem in our childhood, sometime we could just carry a bucket to wash a room because it was ground floor or first floor.
Hmm.
How do you carry a bucket of water 40 stories up? So the problem is, you are looking at a crisis, and how do you, because the energy is cheap, how long can you have availability of cheap energy? You are driving in, you are getting all your supplies, 100, 200, 500 miles or 3000 miles. You see, bananas from northeast India, they go to all the way to Bengaluru,
Hmm.
So they all the way you travel. So you are pumping in, sending in supplies. But how long can you do? Because as long as the cheap energy is available, you can live this lifestyle. But energy will not remain cheap.
Hmm.
Fossil fuels are running out.
Hmm.
So you won't have. So this is not where the lies future. Urbanization is not the future.
But there is another argument which people are telling, we might come up with a new technology, like we have electric cars now. So we are relying that the scientist may come and solve our
And
problems.
where you'll get electricity to charge your electric cars,
No, definitely again from water or coal.
Coal, or you may
air.
go for nuclear, right? Point is, nuclear, one small accident can land entire everything can turn barren, one accident. So this is not the way. Human society has lived a certain way all along, and you got to live in harmony with nature. So real life is life based on land and cattle. That means you grow your food, you lead a simple life, you live what is sustainable. Now we have got industries like meat industry. They, compared to any normal industry, they use water, like water consumption in slaughterhouses is massive.
Yes, it's massive. Yeah.
So then there are other water intensive industries, where we're wasting so much of water. And river beds we have dug up, so water is actually seeping in, rivers are dying. So this party is can be, and imagine 1 year you skip rains. Imagine what happens if 3 years rains are skipped. Your city life goes for a sixer.
Yeah.
Imagine.
No, makes a lot of sense. I have another argument, Swamiji, for you. A Marwadi friend of mine told me once. I don't know it's a joke or it's a normal thing. All the Marwadis across South India, North India, they all migrate back to Rajasthan. Rajasthan can't accommodate all these people. The population, of this Marwadis from Marwar and Rajasthan has become so huge that Rajasthan can't accommodate them back. Like that, this 800 million or 700, I don't know exact population of the world, if they all, disintegrate.
8,000 million.
800 million?
7,000 million is 7 billion. Yes, 7 billion population.
If they all disintegrate from the urban, and then just go back, nature can accommodate all this population back into.
You see, European villages are giving incentives for people to come and settle. There are ghost towns and villages where nobody is left. Even in Indian villages, they are becoming deserted, People are migrating to cities. The younger generation has lost interest in agriculture.
Yes.
So, but again we have a reverse trend also. Many IITians, many IIM graduates, they are giving up what you call corporate jobs, and they are settling down in rural areas and doing like agro businesses, and organic farming and all, and they are making big money out of that. So the whole mindset is this is old style, the governments, our leaders, the public. Agriculture, dealing with, it's a dirty job, dealing with dirt basically. Soil for them is dirt. And dealing with, cow dung, this is, and city life, industry, and collaboration, semiconductors we are going to produce, electric cars that's prestigious. All chief ministers want this, all prime minister, all our leaders, the public, this is nice. What about, but semiconductor chips, you cannot extinguish your fire in the belly. You need actual potato chips for that. So our and mindset is like that. So we got to, so there is more than enough land, to sustain. Actually, present level of grain production, can sustain 5 times the population.
Okay, is it?
Because over 70% of grains go for animal farming. So animals rearing, their grain is going, but present level of production can sustain 5 times this human population. See, what happens is 50 kilos of a pig, it's maybe 20-30 kilos every day you are giving for so long. Now you get at the end maybe 50-80 kilos, 50 kilo of meat.
Yes.
Now with that, what 20-30 kilo you were feeding, that 10-15 kilo whatever, that could have sustained so many people. So meat actually is a very resource intensive food.
Yeah.
So like that, we are our water crisis actually, it's only going to worsen. We may avoid it, we may escape it this year, we may escape it next year. Another city you may hear, for some time. But point is, for how long? It's an artificial arrangement, and this will not withstand the test of time. There are cities, people have lived for thousands of years in those habitations, in those communities. So sustainability is only possible simple living, high thinking. I mean, imagine every time you use a washroom, you need a bucket of water to flush it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
A bucket of water. Now if you got 15 million people in Bengaluru, and they each one use so 15 million at least just for washroom, you need at least 4 times a person visits washroom in a day. You agree?
Yeah.
So you need 60 million buckets just for washing, your for washrooms, other than bathing, So how do you sustain that much? Where from the water will come? You have water table, but there was a report, water table depleting in all the cities, major cities of India,
Yeah.
alarming depletion of water tables.
Yes.
So those water table groundwater was charged for thousands of years, for thousands and millions. So that's why you end up with that kind of water, and we have depleted in last few decades now. Every day new borewells. Every plot has a house has a borewell, right? They have to have.
Yeah.
And you deplete. Okay, so what nature has done for thousands of years, we are finishing few decades now. So the solution is that you have to think of de-urbanization, and this is re-ruralization is actually is the future. That is a village is the optimum unit of human habitation. A village is where everybody knows everybody. A village is where you feel a person. You don't feel a stranger in a crowd.
Yeah.
A village is where everybody can come together. So somewhere we can carry on like we have been, but the idea is we are going on expanding these cities now, and purposely the corporate agenda is to make the rural life unsustainable, so that they migrate, sell off their lands and migrate to cities, become laborers. So it's a serious crisis, and imagine you end up with water is life. You wake up, you need water until you sleep.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. So your ultimate solution is de-urbanization and re-ruralization.
Well, that's a real. You have patchwork solutions. So many now they'll get the tankers, but those tankers need water from somewhere too.
Yeah. So this is a huge crisis any city would face. So this is a moral of a story for all that expanding cities. Now I don't know how many cities are on. Definitely Hyderabad is going in the line of Bangalore.
Yeah, it is already government. I read about Hyderabad also. See, there is no air. Polluted air means lack of air, basically.
Yes.
There is no water. You have got modern computers now. You have got metro rail connectivity now. So you have everything else except the basics. No peace of mind, no good food, pure food, all heavily chemicalized food, no air, no water, and we are very proud to have progressed.
Definitely. So let us all learn from this. Let's new developing cities learn from Bangalore as an example and try to safeguard themselves. But definitely a very unique but a tough solution that you have given is introspection is required. What civilization are we progressing, and de-urbanization and re-ruralization. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for your beautiful insight on this. Hare Krishna.